Man, do I have something hot off the press today for you guys. There's been a very good interview with Matt McAlear talking about other powertrain options. We're going to read through this article. It'll be linked down in the description. And let's also talk about the potential for the return of a legendary vehicle. Let's get into it. Hey guys, real quick, I do want to say that I have launched my memberships for the channel. There are 3 tiers: Enthusiast, Weekend Driver, and Mexico Racer. There is a video going in depth of what they will do. I'm actually providing a service to you guys when it comes to Weekend Driver and Mexico Racer, so make sure you check it out. And if you ever wanted real carbon fiber parts, I do have a promo code with carbon add-ons. Whether you have a Chevy, a Dodge, or a Mustang, a Ford, you can get real carbon fiber parts and save 5% off even on the discounted stuff using code FitCityGarage5, or use the link in the description of this video down below. So thanks for checking it out, and let's get on with the video. What's up, guys? How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. This is hot news. I actually saw this yesterday, but Mopar Insiders has brought this article to us, and it's about Matt McAlear. He's McAlear. I don't know how you pronounce that 100%. We'll say McAlear. Apologies if I'm butchering that. Someone asked them about, are there going to be more engine choices for the vehicles moving forward? Because right now we just have like a 4-cylinder Hurricane engine and then inline 6 Hurricane engine. That's only 2 engine offerings. Now let's look back. What have they had prior? They had a 5.7 Hemi. They had a 6.4 Hemi, right? They had the 6.2 Hellcat variant, and they had the Pentastar. So they had 4 different engines that they used in a lot of their different vehicles. So right now they have 2. So they're missing 2 more engine options. So someone asked them about if the V8 were to make a comeback, it would take time, would it? So here we go. This is from Matt. He says, if you look back across the last generation, you go through the engines between the Charger and the Challenger and the Magnum. Wow, that's going back pretty far. We started out with the 3.5 liter V6, 6.1 liter V8. I remember that in the early 2000s, 2010s. Then the 3.6 liter V6, 5.7 liter V8, the 6.4 liter, the 6.2 liter, the Hellcat engine. And obviously they modified it for the Demon, the Red Eye, and the Demon 170. Do you know how many different powertrains, rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive we had on those engines? This is a multi-energy platform that can accommodate all that. This is just the first year, and you've got 4 powertrains that outperform every one that they're replacing with standard all-wheel drive. We're just getting started. We're going to have a lot of fun. Now, he's talking about the new Charger. We've got a 4-door coming as well, so there are going to be different quote-unquote variants of the vehicle. You got a 4-door and a 2-door. I'd imagine the 2-door would be lighter than the 4-door, but what he's talking about with the 4 power plants right now is I think he's talking about the 2 different like EV power outputs, and then you've got the inline 6 and the inline 4. So it's going to be quite interesting that he's mentioned this, because he's basically confirming that there's going to be more options. Now, here's one thing that's interesting to me. There's rumors of the 5.7 Hemi that's going to be coming back and being put into these vehicles, and that's fine, because the 5.7 Hemi is now going to be built in Detroit. That's fantastic. It's moving from Mexico to America, being built in Detroit. That's fantastic, right? So that means it could be put into these vehicles. We could start seeing them in the trucks now, because the trucks have been having the Hurricane engines in them as we speak. This could be, revolutionary for the brand, bringing back that reliable V8 grumble, that reliable V8 sound, and just a pretty loved engine overall. It's not always about power. The 5.7 does take boost pretty well if you're actually like to modify your vehicles and go faster, but overall, it's just a really good engine. It is. And people like it because of its reliability, the way it sounds. You can do a little bit to it, give it a little bit more power output, or you could boost it and get a lot more power output. Way more reliable than the 6.4 liter, like the Scat Pack and SRT model engine. That thing doesn't take that much power because Dodge squeezed out as much horsepower as they could already from the factory. Now, he didn't say no to the V8 either. So when they asked, McAlear's remarks suggest that Dodge focus on the current lineup, which includes the all-electric Charger, upcoming Hurricane 6-pack models. However, he acknowledged that V8s are no longer considered a bad word within the company and hinting of future possibilities. So we haven't disclosed that, he said, when asked about the direct V8's return, But one of the things that's encouraging is that with the change in leadership, the V8s are no longer a bad word around the company, but with anything, we still have to be compliant. So it would take time to see this to come back, and it's possible that, and there's been some talk about it, it's possible that they're creating a new, more efficient V8 engine. That's actually something that's weird to say, and it's actually something also that I haven't really seen any car company do. That's not to say that Dodge is doing it, but it's actually an interesting topic of conversation that I won't go fully down the rabbit hole. Why haven't any car manufacturers looked into a more efficient V8? Right? Sounds weird that that's not a thing. Of course, V8s take more, gas, yada yada yada. It's going to burn more gas, but how about trying to make it more efficient one way or another? Maybe I'm looking into it too hard, but there's always ways to improve things, at the end of the day. So, but maybe that's what's coming down the pipeline, a new V8 that could be a little bit more efficient than the Hemi engine that they had, giving them better gas mileage, giving them better smog score, and then therefore they're able to pump those out and not really take any hits from the EPA, no matter who the president is, whatever the administration is, doesn't matter, right? So that could be something that they're looking into. Now, with all that said, does that mean that this car, which Tim never got to fully announce, you remember this was like 3 years old, and then Tim quit, he just basically resigned from CEO, he wanted to release a new vehicle, and a lot of people were saying that this could be the Cuda, or something of that nature, be a Mustang fighter, right? Be a lighter vehicle, not be 4,400 pounds. Could be a two-door coupe that was fast, had a good power plant, but it was lighter. And people were thinking maybe it could be the Cuda. And it's still talked about to this day, which is crazy. And now that Tim is back, he's just CEO of Ram. However, because V8s are no longer a bad word, and they do have a very powerful inline-six twin-turbo Hurricane engine, whatever power plant they decide to put in this, they should release this car, though, because they vetted it. They went through the whole process of, making this vehicle. They have the parts. I'm sure they have the software, everything. So we might be seeing another very, very cool variant. It could be a new Dodge Viper. Who knows? It could be a really cool take on a Dodge Viper. People are speculating that maybe the Dodge Viper could finally make a return. Now, it's not going to have a V10. Chill out. But that's probably, that's to be assumed, right? That's not going to have a V10. But it could still be a badass vehicle, right? So it's going to be curious to see if this will ever come to fruition finally, now that Carlos Tavares is gone, and he's probably the one that shot it down, let's be honest. Now that he's gone, Tim can probably revisit this, even though he's a part of Ram. He could revisit this with Matt McAlear together and just kind of brainstorm, since Matt is the CEO of Dodge, and they could just kind of work together in unison behind closed doors and get this thing up and running like they were going to do anyway, right? Like they were going to do anyway. So, with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you excited that there's actually going to be more power plants coming down the road? Like, Matt just basically confirmed it. They always have a bunch of power plants. Now, there's one last thing I want to leave you guys with before we close out this video. It is a very good chance, or I think personally, there's a very high chance that your most high-powered output ICE engine vehicles are going to be that twin-turbo Hurricane 6 because it's a fully forged engine. And I think you're going to see the Hellcat variants, even if it's not even called a Hellcat, but the Hellcat power type vehicles are going to have this twin turbo, fully forged inline-six engine. That's going to be the high horsepower vehicles. I don't think you're going to be seeing V8s. And if you do, I think Dodge is going to dabble with turbo V8s. Turbo V8s. I said what I said. It's probably for compliance, have better EPA, the smog ratings with turbos. Everyone knows why everyone went turbo, for the smog and stuff, right? Think about it. That's it to me. I'll see you guys in the next one.